Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call our meeting to order. Could we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amanda, will you call the roll?
Trustee Messick?
Here.
Trustee Rocco?
Here.
Trustee Sheehan?
Here.
Trustee Casera?
Here.
Trustee Lautner is absent. Trustee Zora?
Here.
President DeCipio?
Here.
A quorum is present, sir.
Thank you, Amanda. Next is public participation of agenda-related items only. Would anyone care to address the board? Seeing none, we'll go to the consent agenda. Amanda?
The items on this evening's consent agenda are as follows. A, approval of minutes, Village Board meeting, November 28th, 2017. Executive session meeting, November 28th, 2017. Work session meeting, December 12th, 2017. Work session meeting, January 9th, 2018. And executive session meeting, January 9th, 2018. B, action, Forest Preserve District of Cook County, IGA, motion to approve an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of LaGrange Park and the Forest Preserve District of Cook County. C, action, purchase of 2018 GMC 3500 chassis and service body. Motion authorizing staff to purchase a 2018 GMC 3500 chassis from Kaufman Truck Sales in an amount of $27,073 and authorize Sauber Manufacturing Company to fabricate and install the service body for a price not to exceed $42,848.50. D, action, purchase of 2018 GMC 3500 chassis. Motion authorizing staff to purchase a 2018 GMC 3500 chassis from Kaufman Truck Sales in an amount of $38,606. E, transferring powers and duties of Plan Commission to Zoning Board of Appeals. Motion to adopt an ordinance of the Village of LaGrange Park creating a Planning and Zoning Commission. 2, motion to adopt an ordinance of the Village of LaGrange Park authorizing the adoption of an amended and codified zoning code. F, motion to authorize the president and chairperson of the Finance Committee to sign the register for bills and authorize the treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of operating bills and salaries as itemized in the check registers. And G, motion to authorize the village treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of payroll and other bills that become due between this date and February 27th, 2018, with subsequent approval of the payroll register and voucher register by the Board of Trustees at its regular meeting to be held on February 27th, 2018.
Thank you, Amanda. Before we move forward, I'd like Trustee Messick to make a motion.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to remove item 5D from the consent agenda and put it under the Public Works Committee.
Second.
Well, it's not a motion. I'm sorry, Trustee Messick. So it's just a statement that we're removing.
Yeah,
it.
just like-
Thank you.
Any trustee can request the removal.
Okay, Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Casera?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Amanda. Moving on, Village Manager Report, Julia.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing to report this evening.
Administration Committee, in lieu of Trustee Lautner not being with us tonight, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administrative report for the month. The Community Art Project unveiled on Tuesday, December 12th. The village unveiled the final 125th anniversary celebration. The Community Art Mosaic at Village Hall. The wall includes over 150 photos submitted by local families and 5 large mosaics made by our local schools. The fantastic piece of artwork will reflect our community for years to come. Please stop by the Village Hall, take some time to take a look at this wonderful tribute to our great community. Village offices will be closed Monday, February 19th in observance of President's Day holiday. Regular office hours will resume Tuesday on February 20th at 8:30 a.m. Work continues on the development of a new village website with our consultant, Civic Plus. The village anticipates the new website will be unveiled in early spring and will include a variety of user-friendly features and a new modern aesthetic. The HELP program. Winter can be particularly challenging time for some of our elderly and disabled residents. Please consider signing up for our HELP program. The program matches community volunteers with its residents in need of assistance. When someone needs help with tasks like mowing, snow removal, or brush clearing, the village provides them a list of individuals who have indicated a willingness to be contacted and have signed up for the HELP program. The residents needing assistance should contact the volunteers directly and oftentimes work out a nominal payment that will be given to the volunteers for their service. To sign up, please call the Village Hall at 708-354-0225 or visit the village's website at www.lagrangepark.org. That concludes the administration for tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Through the chair to Julia or Emily.
Excuse me,
Yes,
Mr. President, I'm sorry, point of order.
sure.
So when Amanda read the beginning, you didn't ask for a, there was no so move to approve everything but the 5 that was removed, so we're kind of
No,
confused.
no, there was not a motion. It was a statement to remove 5D. And so that as the agenda was corrected, the consent agenda was corrected with the removal, then we moved the motion to approve it as such.
Did we move? That's what we're asking. I don't know. Did
Yeah, it was a mistake on my part. I
Okay.
apologize.
we did move.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And if I may again, Julia or Emily, what's our activity with the HELP program? Do we have a lot of volunteers signed up? Is it sparse?
We have a number of volunteers that have been on the list for some time, but we periodically will go through that list and call volunteers and make sure they're still interested. This is the time of year when we tend to get a number of calls from residents, particularly for shoveling snow and clearing ice. So this is why we always ask for volunteers this time of year, because the need is the heaviest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr.
And
President.
if I could just
Sure.
interject something, in the description of the health program, it said that the village's role is really just to connect the volunteers with the residents who need the help. It's really important that the village not have anything on its website about a potential fee going from the resident, from the volunteer to the resident or resident to volunteer. We don't want to get involved in arranging fee-based jobs because we don't want any part of that. So I think we have to be careful to say it is a volunteer project. It's a volunteer program.
Okay, next, Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Zora.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to report the building department activities for December of 2017. 47 building permits were issued in December compared to 47 last December. The number of permits issued for the calendar year in 2017 were 942 compared to 951 in the last calendar year. Estimated construction costs for the month were $489,190, which is substantially less than December of 2016. The reason for such is that permits were issued for a large renovation at Nazareth and a new home in December of 2016. Estimated construction costs for the calendar year 2017 were $13,956,348 compared to $13,940,741 in 2016. Permit fees collected for calendar year 2017 were $389,753 compared to $372,427 in 2016. Inspections conducted for calendar year 2017 were 1,597 compared to 1,696 in 2016. Inspections not approved were 124 compared to 149 in 2016. During December, in addition to other activities, staff met with the project manager for Sisters of St. Joseph's project to discuss ongoing asbestos abatement in the manor house and the scheduling of future phases of the development work. The monopole and its equipment installation will most likely be completed in March. All right, I'm almost done.
Feedback's happening on every microphone.
The monopole and its equipment installation will most likely be completed by March, with demo of the mother house taking place in March and/or April of this year. Thank you, Mr. President. That's all I have because I'm recusing myself from the action item.
Thank you, Trustee Zorn. Trustee Messick, will you carry on?
Thank you, Mr. President. We do have one action item tonight. General background, it's 1015, 1017 East 31st Street, zoning variation with special use permit request, 2703. Subject properties are located at 1015 and 1017 East 31st Street. Petitioner is requesting approval of the following. A special use permit for outdoor dining, Table 8-1 in Section 11.3P, and variation from Section 12.4D3B to install an 8-foot high fence to provide enhanced screening of the proposed outdoor dining area, and C, variation from Section 13, Table 13-1 to reduce the number of required on-site parking stalls. The Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on the above applications on December 19, 2017. The petitioner, along with local residents and business owners, attended the hearing and provided testimony. The minutes from the meeting, the court reporter transcript, and the approved findings of fact are attached. On conclusion of the public hearing, the Zoning Board of Appeals made the following recommendations. A, the ZBA recommended approval of the special use permit for outdoor dining by a vote of 6-0. The ZBA recommended approval of the variation request from Section 12.4B30B to install an 8-foot privacy fence by a vote of 6-0. The ZBA recommended approval of the variation request from Section 13, Table 13-1 to reduce the number of required on-site parking stalls by a vote of 5-1. Staff concurs with the recommendation of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and this item is for discussion and action tonight, so I'd like to start with a motion to approve an ordinance granting a special use permit for outdoor dining and certain variations for 1015 and 1017 East 31st Street, JGK 31st Street Properties, case 2017-03. Second.
A motion and a second. Discussion. Trustee Messick.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did attend the zoning hearing on this. It's an exciting new business moving into our village. And, as with all zoning cases, we either go into variations or special use permits. There are special needs and considerations that need to be met, and it was full discussion and very thorough discussion by the zoning board, and I believe they were all met. So I would be in support of all of this, the patio dining, the 8-foot fence, and parking recommendations. We were nearly unanimous as a zoning board on all these, and I concur with it. The cases were made.
Thank you, Trustee Messick. Any other comments from the board? Trustee Rocco?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, did not attend the meeting, but I did take a read through the transcript, and it just, from gathering from the residents around, there's a concern regarding parking, but the overall feeling that I got was, first they were happy with the increase in the fence. I can see they said go higher if you can. But, and also then, and everybody's excited about the prospect of us getting this restaurant to the neighborhood, and granted some parking spaces are being lost with the outdoor dining, but that's going to be part of the charm of that. And I'm not sure if I was behind, I might rather have the restaurant, the outdoor there abutting the alleyway rather than additional parking anyway. And it seemed like there's plenty of parking surrounding it, and and also, as we know, the commission is looking at the possible options for parking, and there is some possible option even of parking on the north side of the street to the east of the proposed restaurant. Going in the future with other buildings and other businesses coming in, and the parking then may become more of an issue. Right now, it seems like there's plenty of parking. They're saying there's 82 or 72 spots that are surrounding it. So I would support this. All three variations.
Thank you, Trustee Rocco.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Comments from any board members? Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Casera?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Trustee Messick, and thank you, Trustee Zora. Julia, did we want to take a minute break?
That's all I can do to address the audio system is just to turn it on and turn it off. It would be the 1 minute or 1 minute pause.
Okay, why don't we do that?
However, due to weather constraints, the installation of the concrete alley pavement will not occur until early spring of 2018. The second item, National Power Routing has begun the cleaning and televising of sewers ahead of the 2018 street paving program. This video received from them is being used to identify any sewer repairs or maintenance needed on these lines prior to constructing roadway improvements this construction season. It is anticipated that the work identified will be bid out in late winter, and contract documents for performing these repairs will be brought to the village board for their consideration. The third item, the final plans and specifications for the Harding Avenue improvements, Brainerd Avenue to Kemen Avenue, were submitted to the Illinois Department of Transportation for inclusion in their January project letting. IDOT should award the contract in mid-March with an anticipated construction start in May. All work on the project is expected to be completed by late fall. And the final item to report on this evening, Mr. President, design work on the 2018 street paving program continues. The project will be bid late this winter with a single contract in order to attract more potential bidders. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Kucera. Trustee Sheehan, I don't know if I was clear on the other part of that motion, or that suggestion is it goes underneath your report.
Yes, sir, I am fully aware. Thank you.
Public Safety Committee, Trustee Messick.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will start with the Police Department summary of activities for December 2017. Overall total of criminally involved incidents that were reported to the Police Department during the year of 2017 were 333. This is slightly higher than 296 that were reported in the previous year of 2016. Total traffic enforcement of various citations issued was 561 for 2017 compared to 6249 in 2017 for 6249 for 2016. The overall police service and assistant calls are at 7646 reported in 2017 compared to 7245 reported through the same time of the previous year. Commander Tim Contoy has successfully graduated from the police administration program of staff in command offered through Northwestern University. The approximately $6,000 fee was covered by a chief scholarship offered through the university, and congratulations to Commander Contoy. Officer Tim Burry Jr. is on course to complete the present FTO field training program by Monday, February 12th. He will then be assigned to the midnight shift based on seniority and staffing needs. The police social worker who is affiliated with the Presence Health Behavioral Care Incorporated will continue in 2018 as a shared entity with the villages of Bellwood and Stone Park. This program assists in many follow-ups throughout the year in reference to domestic-type incidents, mental health concerns, elder care, suicidal matters, homeless cares, etc. And in 2018, the police department will continue with all the positive community-based programs: Adopt a Cop, Door Hanger Notice, Close Home Checks, National Night Out, Walk and Talk, Shop with a Cop, Bike Registration, etc. In addition, Session 3 for the Police Citizen Academy for 2018 will occur in April through May. Please contact Officer Chris Dempsey at 708-352-7711, extension 275, or email cdempsey, DEMPSEY, at lagrangepark.org for further details. The Consolidated Dispatch Area, LTAC, Lyons Township Area Communications Center, which is located in LaGrange, has been open since March of 2017 and has given daily quality service to the residents of LaGrange Park, LaGrange, and Western Springs. The contact phone numbers for LTAC are non-emergency, 708-352-2151. If emergency, call 911. And just one other note on the Police Citizens Academy, because it is so popular and so good, I noticed LaGrange is now going to start one. So it's always good to be a leader in that. It's a very positive program. And congratulations to the chief and Officer Dempsey and the whole department for starting something like that. That completes the police department report. And now on to fire department. So fire department activities for, that says November 2017. EMS incidents, 154. There have been 1,560 year-to-date compared to 1,531 in the previous year. Fire incidents in the month are 41, and there were 487 year-to-date compared to 442 in 2016.
There's a December report. There's 2 reports.
Submitted.
Just so you know.
Yeah, I got to go. That's the next one. All right, so then during the month, EMS coverage was provided at a home Nazareth football game. Personnel info helped escort the football team as they left town to play in the state championship game. Oh, I missed one. Personnel conducted a community CPR class for 6 attendees in cooperation with the Community Park District. It was conducted in our Village Hall community room. Fire Prevention conducted a final fire sprinkler inspection for the new home at 230 Kings Court and a final occupancy inspection for an expanded use of portions of the 825 East 26th Street multi-tenant building. Personnel stood by with an engine and ambulance and participated in Veterans Day ceremony at the Memorial Wall at Memorial Park. And personnel also participated in a fire truck ride to school event and also helped deliver Santa to Ace Hardware at the holiday event they hosted on Small Business Saturday. And that's November. Now I got to find December. Here we go. Fire department activities, December 2017. EMS incidents this month were 141. There were 1,700 for the year compared to 1,679 in 2016. Fire rescue incidents in the month of December were 36. 503 for the year compared to 476 in 2016. On December 9th, personnel delivered Santa the Holiday in the Park event and conducted a holiday fire safety presentation for attendees. Staff, along with personnel from various other local fire departments, met with a representative of FirstNet, which is the national program that is being developed to provide a nationwide broadband network, which first responders will have priority use of during major emergencies. During the month, the Loyola EMS system issued new equipment training for treating burn injuries. Personnel will be trained, and use of the equipment will be implemented in coming weeks. Also during the month, staff met with representatives from several area fire departments to discuss standard operating guidelines, operations, and training related to active shooter incidents and similar events. On December 17th, the Fire Department Foundation hosted a small holiday brunch where children were treated with a visit from Santa Claus. And that concludes the fire department report. There is one action item. And so that would be the new our ladder truck purchase change order. General background, the construction of our new Quint ladder truck is nearing completion at Pierce Manufacturing. The purchase approved by the Village Board on January 24th, 2017 was in the amount of $918,800. At that time, staff provided an overview of the process and scope of the work items of overall design and options where the final design and plans would not be completed for several months. As the design developed, our committee had to make some decisions with necessary options, and the final design had to go through engineering review at Pierce. For this reason, it was noted in the January 19th, 2017 Village Board Agenda Memo that some of the money for the Fire Equipment Bonds Fund, approximately $25,200 at the time, may be used in the future for any change orders or ancillary equipment related to the truck build. Over the past year, our committee worked through the design and build process with Pierce, and as such, there have been modifications made to date requiring the change order. The cost of the modifications at this point totals $7,299.37. And there's a brief summary attached of what they were, but so I would like to make a motion for the Quint ladder truck purchase change order motion to approve the costs for design changes made at print approval and the purchase of the new Pierce Manufacturing Ascendant 107 Quint aerial ladder for a cost of $7,299.37.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Trustee Messick?
Thank you, Mr. President. I am in full favor of this. The committee has done very well on the fire department and the research and all the work they've done to get what they need and what's best for the community. The changes, they're all reasonable, and we authorized more money than they actually needed. They've been very judicious with our money as well. I'm in full support of it.
Thank you, Trustee Messick. Any other comments from the board?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I just wanted to reiterate that considering the cost of the truck and what the additional costs are that needed to be added is very reasonable, and great job in doing an estimate and putting it out to bid to be that close. Thank you.
Job well done, Chief. Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Casera?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
That concludes public safety, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Messick. Next, Public Works Committee, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a December report, and I also have the action item moved for discussion and action tonight. So let's start off with December 2017. Public Works sweeper spent 50 and a half hours cleaning 130 miles of village streets and picked up 63 yards of debris. Snow operations started in December with crews salting and plowing in full force. 17 hours of regular time and 100 hours of overtime were spent plowing and salting. 563 miles of town were salted and plowed, using about 200 tons of salt. Leaf pickup finished in bless you. Leaf pickup finished in December, completing final rounds of leaf collection. 169 hours were spent collecting leaves throughout the town, removing approximately 1,026 yards of leaves. Tree maintenance, trimming, and inspection were performed during 44 regular hours. 2 trees were removed due to disease and being a hazard to the public. Crew spent 41 hours picking up 44 yards of brush from parkways. 222 regular hours were spent on the maintenance of public works equipment and vehicles. 13 hours were spent filling potholes and patching water excavation sites with approximately 6 tons of asphalt. DPW installed wood trim around the 125th anniversary community art project at Village Hall. 119 day shift hours were spent on building and ground maintenance around the Public Works facility, Village Hall, and along 31st Street. Work orders were completed with crews removing roadkill, making sign repairs, and attending to residents' concerns. Like I said, various maintenance on vehicles were performed. Water Department operations over 217 and a half day shift hours and 106 and a quarter overtime hours during this month of December were spent on maintenance and repairs of sewer and water mains. 29,750,000 gallons of water were purchased from the Brookfield North Riverside Water Commission. 1,335 water meters were read in Section 3. 53 monthly accounts and 12 final meter readings were taken. Various inspections, appointments, and service calls were performed. 3 water sewer inspections, 19 meter appointments, and 18 service calls were performed. 15 water bacterial samples were taken, assume all passed. As 68 utility locations were identified prior to excavations, 7 water mains were repaired, 2 Buffalo box valve repairs, 2 water shutoffs were also performed. Mr. President, before I go to my action item, I'd like to commend Public Works, the Director McLaughlin, and his staff. They were hit early, hard, and often with salting, plowing, and with the freeze-thaw cycle. The water mains have not been kind. It seems like every couple days they were out hitting it on water mains, and the weather was pretty cold out there. So kudos to the men of the department. Residents appreciate that. With that being said, Mr. President, we'll move on to the action item to provide the village board with the following information for the tonight 5D. On the agenda for tonight, we'll talk purchase of chassis for a new 1-ton dump truck. As stated in the agenda memo, staff was working to complete specs and confirm pricing on the build out of the truck. The final quote with options came in and is $47,526, which is $1,132 over the $46,394 available for build-out after the chassis is purchased. The additional $1,132 will be allocated proportionally to the fund budgets from which the expenditure was budgeted: capital projects, water fund, and sewer fund. The price for the build-out includes a heavy-duty stainless steel dump bed with an AR 400 floor. a center hydraulic system with plow and spreader controls, a new 8-foot front mount plow, a new stainless steel salt spreader, option 2, a rear view camera system, option 3, a cab shield and safety light system. Authorization tonight, have the documentation. Therefore, Mr. President, make a motion to approve the build-out of 47,000.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Trustee Sheehan.
Pardon me?
The reason for the request to move it was that was for informational, the purchase of the rest of the equipment. What we're going to make a motion on is the chassis only that was on the consent agenda.
Okay.
But I felt procedurally it was necessary that the board understood what the whole ramification of the purchase was.
Okay.
Before we voted on the chassis, to see if maybe there was some concern as to the cost of it. Maybe we didn't want to buy the chassis at this point, but mostly procedurally to make sure all the information was out there before we made a vote on the chassis. So we'll go back to the original motion that was placed on the consent agenda, which was the purchase of the 2018 GMC $3,500 chassis.
Right.
And I'm looking for that motion.
Right here.
Okay, you have it, Trustee Sheehan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion authorizing staff to purchase a 2018 GMC 3500 chassis from Kaufman Truck Sales, Inc. in an amount of $27,073. No, I'm sorry. I have it. Okay, action purchase of a 2018 GMC 3500 chassis. Motion to authorize staff to purchase a 2018 GMC 3500 chassis from Kaufman Truck Sales, Inc. in amount of $38,606.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. As I look at the build-out, I mean, a lot of them are, I think, road safety for the driver and also for the residents with the rear view camera. Also operator safety to know what's behind them at all times. I also think that the items that were added with the stainless steel, the vehicle's going to last a long time, and I think after longevity of use, the village seems to have a long history of keeping our vehicles for a long time in good condition, the resale value. So I would have no problem approving this, Mr. President.
Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Casera?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
That concludes Public Works, Mr. President. Sorry for the confusion.
No, my fault. Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Okay, moving on. Other reports? I'm sorry, wait a minute. Finance Committee, Trustee Rocco.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are 67% through our fiscal year. Up to date, our general fund revenue is trending slightly below expectations of 59% of the annual budget and $129,000 lower than last year. Sales tax is up about 1% this year, while property tax receipts are about 2% below last year due to prior year refunds. Telecommunication taxes are down by 9%. Permit revenue is about 22% below last year, but at 91% of budget. Intergovernmental revenue is down about 3%, primarily due to lower income tax receipts. Charges for services are up 5% due to increased ambulance fee collections, of which I utilized about a month ago, and wonderful service. Thank you. It was just a bad kidney stone. I can't handle pain. Where are we at here? Okay, fine revenue is about 12%. I gotta pay. 12% lower than last year. Revenue from court fines has increased slightly, while ticket collections are lower than last year. Miscellaneous revenue is about 24% due primarily to an increase in payment in lieu of taxes. Interest and tower lease revenues have also increased. Total general fund expenditures are within expectations at 59% of the annual budget and about $324,000 above last year. The increase is primarily due to the new LTAC and annual contribution, which is paid on a quarterly basis beginning in May from the police and fire budgets. Other factors include the timing of the IRMA contribution and increased fine personal cost. And that concludes my report and the action items. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Rocco.
Commercial Revitalization, Trustee Casera.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the December 12, 2017 Village Board meeting, the Village Board approved an inducement resolution with S&L Investments LLC for 1201 Barnesdale Road. Staff has confirmed that S&L Investments closed on the purchase of the property in early January and is in the preliminary stages of negotiating a potential tax increment financing and or business district incentive agreement with the owner. That concludes my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Casera. Other reports, Village Clerk,
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Village Treasurer, Village Engineer, Village Attorney.
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Motion to approve committee and collectors' reports as presented.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a couple items. I attended a chili cooking class at Ace Hardware on Sunday. And it was advertised as Chef Jason. And so I showed up and it was not our Chef Jason.
Oh, no.
It was a well-attended class at Ace Hardware. They did a nice job, and next time I want to see our Jason. Chief Rompa, if you would extend to Commander Contois the board's appreciation and congratulations on the graduation.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing I have is Julie and I will be meeting with Representative Welch in a week to start our process of sitting down with our legislators and representatives. So well done, Julia, to get that going. Public participation of non-agenda related items. Anyone care to address the board?
I just want to thank everyone for the support. The support you guys give. Appreciate it.
Good luck, Jason.
Good luck, sir.
New business. Any new business? Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.